Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the campus of Volunteer State Community College. We're in Gallatin, Tennessee at the Nichols Softball Complex here on the western edge of Volunteer State Gallatin campus for today's doubleheader action between the Lady Pioneers of Volunteer State, number 20th ranked team in the country, taking on the Dyersburg State Lady Eagles. Ball State comes in with a 28-8 record, 11-3 in conference play. That's good for second place in the conference. Dyersburg State 10-12 overall and 8-6 in conference. That is fifth place. Chattanooga State leads the TCCAA softball standings. They are undefeated, 8-0 after they beat the Lady Pioneers in Chattanooga this past weekend. The last game was a no-hitter by Olivia Laney. She is this week's pitcher of the week. I believe she had 14 strikeouts in that game, and the best hitting team by several percentage points in the TCCAA, that's Vol State. First time they've been no-hit probably in years. So congratulations to Olivia Laney, the Chat State left-handed pitcher. I believe she's a transfer from BYU. And the latest rankings have come out. Chattanooga State, I believe, has moved up to 15th in the country. Ball State stayed put at 20th after going 0-2 in conference against Chat State, but got a couple wins earlier in the week. I believe that was Motlow State. Is that right, Alyssa? Yeah. Alyssa Costley is assistant coach for Christian Lynn. Couple of wins here at home earlier in the week for Motlow State. Dyersburg State, they will face them 4 games, 2 here at home, and then travel to Dyersburg, Tennessee on Friday, take on the Lady Eagles at their place. They come in with a interim head coach. That is Dusty Rhodes, the interim head coach for the Lady Eagles. He's not a stranger to Dyersburg State at all. He's been an assistant coach on the baseball side, but after last year's head softball coach, George White, took over the baseball team, they were needing a leader for the softball team, and Dusty Rhodes was the logical choice. So he's assisted by Emily Gilstrap, who was a former player at Dyersburg between 2018 and 2020. She went on to play at UT Martin for a couple of years, and now is in, I believe, her first year as an assistant coach. I'm joined today by a student here. I just met her, Jessica Meyer, who is on the headset, and she'll be handling our scoreboard and our camera switching. So, Jessica, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me here today.
There we go. You know, my first error right there, they didn't turn your microphone up.
Oh,
So
no.
that's all me. So, Jessica, you can tell me and the rest of the folks, where are you from?
I'm originally from Arizona, but I've been here in Tennessee basically my whole life. And I'm glad to be here today assisting you at our Vol State game.
All right. And you're interested in broadcasting. What is your major here at Vol State?
It was entertainment media.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what year are you here?
I'm actually graduated out.
You finished.
But
Okay.
I finished, yes.
So are you moving on to further your career or your academic career, or what are you doing with your life now?
Well, that is the plan. I would like to move on to possibly a university, but also right now I'm at home and pursuing other broadcasting adventures and wanting to get as much experience as possible.
Okay, great. Well, it's
Yes, sir.
good to have you here. As you see, the umpires
Thank you.
are meeting with the head coaches. Christian Lynn in blue for Vol State. In his second year, he had the interim tag last year. Now he is the head coach. Dusty Rhodes has the interim tag. We'll see where that leads. Down the road, down the dusty roads. Let's get to our Toyota of Gallatin starting lineup. First for the visitors, the Lady Eagles of Dyersburg. Mallory Velota, the left fielder, leads off. Chloe Jones bats second. She'll play third base. Madison Lanier is the shortstop. She'll bat third. The cleanup hitter plays center field. That's Jada Moore. Emily Bullington is the pitcher. In the circle today, she'll bat fifth. Keaton Wheeler, the designated player, bats sixth. Chanley Price is at first base. She'll hit seventh. The right fielder, Caitlin Cotton, hits eighth, and Madison Morton plays second base, batting ninth. And behind the plate is Macy Calhoun. For the Lady Pioneers, 20th ranked team in the country in Division I, Michaela Fuquay plays second base and leads off. Erica Abbott will bat second, and she's going to play shortstop. Lydia Kirby hits third. She is behind the plate. Shelby Green's out in right field. She's the cleanup hitter. Willow Carden at first base, bats fifth. Batting sixth is Kylie Maldonado. Make sure I've got it not right. It is Kylie. We got a lot of K's on this team. And there's three of them right in a row. Kylie Maldonado, Carly Costley, and Katie Robinson. They are hitting sixth, seventh, and eighth. Maldonado, the DP, and Costley playing third base, and Robinson playing left field. Anna Harrison out in center field, batting ninth. Brooklyn Levin in the circle. So you see the teams lining up. We will have our national anthem, and we will take a break through the national anthem as we don't want to get kicked off of our YouTube channel. Alyssa Costley does not want that to happen. She's not going to sing the national anthem today. She's just going to play it. So we'll take a break and be right back on the Vol State Sports Network. And Alyssa Costley says, play ball. And she's the boss up here in the Nichols Softball Complex press box. Surrounded by women here. The thorn between two roses right now, but Alyssa Costley's not going to stick around too long. Jessica, she's going to be here all day.
I am. You are stuck with me.
Yeah, don't let me run you off. You said you heard a lot about me before we met today, and I'm wondering, and you still showed up. Okay.
All the good things. I heard all the good things.
You heard both of them. Both good things. Well, that's awesome. It's great having you here. These Lady Pioneers, they need some love on the broadcast, and I'm not always able to make the games, so it would be awesome to have somebody who can come in here on a regular basis. They have been an excellent team for years. Johnny Lynn, the longtime head coach here for 30 years, over 1,000 wins as the softball coach. He's a legend here in the TCCAA, a Hall of Famer, I believe. I better check that. Am I correct on that, Alyssa? I know that Bobby Hudson is a Hall of Famer, and pretty confident that saying that Johnny was inducted. You can go on the TJCCAA website, and it has, I believe, a button there for, there it is, about the TCCAA. And it has the Hall of Fame selections. Also tells you about the different organizations that make up, over the years, what is now the TCCAA. We are ready for action. Leadoff batter facing Brooklyn Levin is Mallory Volota, and the first pitch is high and away, ball one. If I'm mispronouncing Volota's last name, you can send me an email at tresports@gmail.com. I won't bite, and I won't talk bad about you. Volota comes in hitting .333. 21 hits in 63 plate appearances, 4 doubles, 3 triples. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes to the right-handed hitter. Taps one foul at the plate for strike one. Volota is a freshman. The website does not indicate the hometowns for the players that I pulled off of 2025. I did do a little research and found some of the hometowns for the sophomores. That's from last year's roster. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball up. And Levin back in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chloe Jones in the on-deck circle. Chloe is a sophomore. She's from Nashville. Levin, one of the top pitchers in the conference. Pop up off to the right side in foul territory, and Willow Carden able to make the catch right in front of the Dyersburg State dugout for the first out. And that brings up the third baseman, Chloe Jones. Chloe, one of the top hitters for Dyersburg. She's hitting .353. Leads the team in hits with 24, 6 doubles, 2 triples. She's got 1 long ball and 15 RBIs. Taps 1 foul at the plate. Lydia Kirby will retrieve that. The All-American first teamer from last year. I just love saying that. The All-American. Levin changed up Jones there. She was just able to get a piece of that. Count goes no balls and 2 strikes. Dyersburg State got to the final game in conference action a year ago against Chattanooga State. They defeated Vol State. A 10-inning affair, 5-4, I believe, as that pitch misses outside. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. And the 1-2 changeup grounded to the hole between third and short. It glances off the glove of Carly Costley. And that will be a base hit for Jones. Sneaks on through and picked up by Katie Robinson, the left fielder. Robinson in left, Anna Harrison in center, Shelby Green in right. Costley at third, Erica Abbott at short, Michaela Fuqua at second, Willow Carden at first, and Lydia Kirby behind the plate. Pitching Brooklyn Levin, who steps on one there. It's a little bit low. To the shortstop, Madison Lanier. Got a couple of Madisons on the roster. They spell it the same, Madysson. It's not the common spelling of Madison. It'll get it done, though. It doesn't change or bother a broadcaster, not a veteran like me. Madison You can spell it several ways. When you start putting the apostrophes in there and some silent Z's and all that, that's when I'll have to go and ask somebody. 2-0 pitch, grounded to third. Costly off her glove, and that'll be an error on Carly, allowing Lanier to reach. And now runners are at first and second base. That brings up the cleanup hitter, and we'll have a conflab in the circle. Everybody's going to get together, and they're going to pick up Carly Costly, who's had a couple come her way. And first one, lucky to get a glove on it. This one, she might have been trying to get the ball in her hand to throw to second a little bit too quickly. So runners now at first and second, with Jada Moore, the center fielder, coming to the plate. Moore is also a freshman. She smacks one out to right center field. That's going to get a run in at least. One hops to the wall. Harrison up with it quickly, and Abbott now in the infield. And Dyersburg State now leads 1-0 on the RBI double by Moore. She does all she can to make the error hurt. Swing and a miss by Emmy Bullington. Nothing. Dyersburg State here in the top of the first inning. Down to third is Lanier, and it's second with the RBI double, Jada Moore. That was Moore's 8th double of the year. She came in the top 10 in the conference in that category. 0-2 pitch coming to the pitcher, Emmy Bullington. Fouls that one. Nearly got into the Vol State dugout. Bullington hitting .340. 18 hits, including 2 doubles, 7 RBIs. She bats here with 1 out, 2 on. On deck, Keaton Wheeler, the DP. First base is open, but Levin ahead looking for the strikeout. She's going to get it on the changeup. Hold the string and gets the swing and a miss. Chick-fil-A of Gallatin. Strikeout for out number 2. Doing good, Jessica. First time operating the PED scoreboard.
Yeah.
You're not bored? Is that what you said?
No.
Fastball to Wheeler is up high. Levin is second in the conference in strikeouts. She came in with 79. First in many other categories, 105 innings plus pitched. That's tops in the league. Appearances, 23. That's tops. That pitch misses low and away. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes. Third in the conference in ERA with a 1.99 ERA. 11 wins. That's number 1. 14 games started. That's also first, and she's tied in complete games. So she gets a call there on a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Wheeler hitting .250 for the year. She has 14 hits, 3 doubles, 8 RBIs. From Covington, Tennessee, and she's going to get another RBI. She drops that one in front of Robinson. Throw to the plate is up the line. 2-run single for Wheeler, the DP. And Dyersburg State now leads 3-0. That brings Chanley Price, the first baseman, to the plate. At least one of those runs is unearned. There's a line drive. That's going to get down in fair territory. And Price picks up the 4th hit of the inning. Dumps one in right down the left field line, getting runners at first and second. Actually, all but one of those runs at this point will be unearned, as the inning should have ended with the strikeout of Emmy Bullington. Ground ball to short. Abbott gloves, throws on to Carden for out number 3 to retire the side. 3 runs, only 1 earned on 4 hits. There was 1 key error and 2 runners left on base. 3-0, Dyersburg leads. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first on the full count. I knew I was going to do it. On the Vol State Sports Network. Kayla Fuqua will step in, facing Emmy Bullington. Bullington's first offering is high to the diminutive second baseman. I think she's about 5'4". They don't put height on their roster. I have asked most of the ladies, and apparently I didn't bring over Michaela's from last year as to what her numbers were. I don't ask the ladies' weight. I do for baseball, I have their weight, but I don't have it for the ladies. 3 balls, no strikes now to Fuqua. Fuqua leads the club in walks. And she draws a 4-pitch walk there, and that is bad news for the opposing team when they walk Michaela Fuqua. Normally turns into a stolen base or 2. She actually leads the conference in walks. That's her 23rd of the year. And now Erica Abbott is off with the pitch, goes Fuqua, and pitch is, I believe, called a ball, and Fuqua picks up her 44th stolen base of the year. We'll put her on first, and we'll slide her down to second base. Abbott squares the bunt, pulls the bat back, and Fuqua is going to steal third on the throw to the shortstop. Now the Framework Athletics first run of the game is standing 60 feet away. Kayla Fuqua leads the club in runs scored. She's tied with Erica Abbott, actually. Not only for the team lead, but for the conference lead. They both have 48 runs scored. Fuqua is going to come in and score the 49th run as Erica Abbott grounds out to first base. RBI ground out for Abbott. Now, there is the Framework Athletics first run of the game. Driven in by Abbott. He's also high on many conference top 10 lists. Get to that the next time she comes to the plate. Came in hitting .418. Lydia Kirby also leads in many statistical categories. She's number 1 in hits, number 1 in RBIs. 53 hits, she's got 54 RBIs as that pitch is called a strike. 1-1 to Kirby from Alvaton, Kentucky. She's a sophomore, as I said. She's an All-American from last year's squad. Second in the conference in RBIs a year ago. Actually, first in the conference, second in the country with 103 RBIs. Kirby hitting .434. That's third best in the TCCAA. Count now goes 3 balls and 1 strike. As she is in scoring position when she steps to the plate. And the Hall of Famer, Athletic Director Bobby Hudson, has now made an appearance here inside the press box. 3-1 pitch drilled down the left field line. It is foul. Well, Full Count Ministries, full count. The sophomore catcher. She'll play some first base, DH. The daughter of Greg and Jennifer Kirby. Sister to Hannah and Cassie. The granddaughter of Granddaddy and Nanny in Bowling Green. Also Nana up there in Bowling Green as she fouls that one off. Count remains full. We did not get our game time temperature. 68 beautiful degrees here in gracious and growing Gallatin. That's out to right center field. That will get out of here. Solo home run. Looked like Lydia got that off the end of her bat. That is Lydia Kirby's 5th home run of the year. She's got 3 in her last 3 now home games here at Vol State. It's a 55th RBI. Now the Lady Pioneers just trail by 1, and that brings Shelby Green to the plate with nobody on and 1 out. Lydia didn't even get all that one. Wind is blowing from center over to right field. 200-foot fence here at the Nichols Softball Complex. Kirby, a lot of power the opposite way. As a matter of fact, I've seen most of our home runs go out to right. Don't see a whole lot of pulled home run balls from her, but I don't watch all of her games. That's the first hit of the game for Vol State. Shelby Green stands in, sophomore from Milan, Tennessee. Looks at another called strike that is winking at that outside front corner of the plate. Count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck, Willow Carden. Shelby hitting .330. Rounds 1 backhanded by Chanley Price. She beats Green to the bag. So 2 putouts on ground balls to the first baseman, Chanley Price. And now 2 outs in the inning. Lydia Kirby with her 5th home run of the year. She had 16 a year ago with her 103 RBIs. Willow Carden stands in, hitting .290. Looks at ball one. She's tied for 6th in the conference in RBIs with 34. She has 9 doubles. That's good for 4th in the conference. And she scored 28 runs, which is 10th in the conference. Fouls that one off to the right side. One count. 2 in, nobody on. Carden, 5'9" freshman from Coffee County High School in Manchester. Play third, she can play first. She can hit. Elementary ed major at Vol State, the daughter of Billy Bob and Rachel Carden. That one's rolled up there in the dirt. She is the sister of Eliza, Gus, Pearl, Will, and Abe. And hello to Grandma in Beech Grove, Tennessee. Another one off the end of the bat. We'll have a full count, Ministries full count. To Willow Carden, C-A-R-D-E-N. We don't have a graphics operator here. Don't know where they'd sit if we did, but I don't know how you do it on OBS very well. The system we use to broadcast, and a swing and a miss by Carden on a changeup will retire her and the Lady Pioneers. First strikeout of the game for Bullington. All State with 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. After 1, Dyersburg State leads 3-2. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Welcome back to Gallatin. We move to the top of the 2nd inning. 9-1-2 due up for Dyersburg State as Dusty Rhodes having a conversation with the umpires here before he heads down to third base. I'm not sure if he's got a lineup change or not. It appears as though this is Madison Morton, the second baseman. Umpires have a brief chat. Did not get their names before the game. Dusty Rhodes, the third base coach. Emily Gilstrap, as that is fouled straight above us off the screen. And Lydia Kirby will retrieve that. Brooklyn Levin in the circle. She is a warrior. Under a 2.0 ERA. There's a line drive, gets down under the glove of Costley, and there's another hit. That's the 5th hit of the game. Back to the top of the lineup. Mallory Volota popped out to the first baseman in foul territory to start the game. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 hits in the next 6 batters, plus an error. Allowed 3 runs to score. Squaring around a bunt is Volota. She fouls that one off to the right. See if anybody's been brave enough to send in an email. Bo Fuquay's a regular. Let's see if. Oh, look at there. You're right as rain, Bo. Bo down in, I assume he's in Decatur, Alabama. That's where he's from. That's fisted, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Dyersburg State is all over Brooklyn Levin here early. Back-to-back hits. Qualsey. Alex Qualls with the back number to the broadcast booth. Alex Qualls, former right-hander from Lipscomb Academy. He's a baseball player. He didn't play softball. That one's bunted. That will go foul. Off the bat of Chloe Jones. She singled and scored in the first. Qualsey is, you're up in Kentucky, I think. Alex, is that right? I think Alex Qualls is dialed in from, I want to say Georgetown. I want to say that, so I'm going to. I don't know if it's right, but I'm still going to say it. 0-1 count, nobody out. Bunted, and that's going to hit her in front of the plate. She's going to be out. Chloe Jones bunts one, and she runs right into it, so she's out. I say she's out. She should be out, but she's grabbing her bat and coming back as though she gets to continue batting. In baseball, you're out. Your sister, was she Chloe? I knew that name. Well, they're going to decide whether she gets to stay in the at-bat. Alice Qualls' sister. I used to know all this a couple of years ago when I had all that information at my fingertips. I saw you last, I guess, down at the conference tournament. So the umpires have gotten together, and now they are having a chat with head coach Christian Lynn. Honestly, I don't know what the discussion could be. If you hit a ball and it's in fair territory and you run into it, maybe, well, I guess what they're saying is that she was in the box when it hit her. That's the only thing that they could be discussing. Let's see if I can go back and see it again. You could do the same thing. Remind me of Chloe Jones' mother's name. Count is no balls and 2 strikes. There we go. Chloe able to hold up on that changeup. One ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out, 2 on. Way outside. Trying to watch this replay in between pitches again. Yeah, you can't really see from our camera angle from behind. Looks to me like those batter's boxes are actually up too far, but I may be wrong. Fouled off to the right side. Been playing baseball most of my life, but I've never lined a field. I bet you Alex Qualls has, because I know Chase Birdwell. Now, Braxton Alexander gets to do that fun job. But I believe Wes Buckner, the manager, Christian Lynn, handle it here at the softball complex. Changeup misses high. And we'll have a full count, Ministries. Full count to Chloe Jones, the number 2 hole hitter for Dyersburg State. So I assume she went to Lipscomb Academy as well. That could be wrong. Full count pitch, smoked out to right field. That has turned Shelby Green around. That's going to hit on the warning track. 1 run's going to score. The throw comes into the infield. Chloe Jones with an RBI double. Dyersburg State leads 4-2. She's 2 for 2 in the game. Over to third goes Mallory Velota. And Madison Morton comes in to score. Still nobody out. Madison Lanier reached on an error and scored in the first. Fastball is up. Reagan Jones. There we go. All right. It's the stepmother. She did go to Lipscomb Academy. Love having a reporter out on the street in Georgetown, Kentucky. That pitch gets in there and a called strike on the outside corner. Brooklyn Levin not used to getting hit like this. Giving up 95 hits and 105 innings pitched. That popped up to the right side. Might be playable for Green. She will not be able to make the catch on that. It was inside the fence, but might not have been a bad idea to let that one drop, although she was trying to catch it. Early in the game, maybe you go ahead and take the out. 3 hits in a row here to start the top of the second for Dyersburg. Madison Morton led off with a single to left. Mallory Velota with a bloop single in the left field. There's a tapper right down to first base line. That's going to be basically a swinging bunt. Willow Carden comes in to glove it. Staying at third base is Velota. So an infield single loads the bases. 8 hits in the game for Dyersburg. Brings Jada Moore, who had an RBI double, to right center field. Nobody warming up in the Vol State bullpen. Moore looks at a fastball up. Levin, 5'6", sophomore, transferred from Chadron State College. She's from Littleton, Colorado. Went to Chatfield Senior High School. A criminal justice major here. Talked to her a little bit before the game. She'd like to be a dog handler for a police department. Daughter of Michelle Levin. That pitch missed somewhere. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes. She has a grandpa and a grandma in Indian Hills, Colorado. And a brother, Casey. In her first year, will be her only year here at Vol State for the Lady Pioneers. 2-0 pitch with the bases juiced. Fouled straight back. Thank you for the email, Bo. I always like hearing from you. If you can't make it, thank you for the text to Alex Qualls. Drilled foul. We'll get into the little patch of trees just on the other side of the Vol State bullpen. Jessica Meyer, my helper today, is working very hard on getting used to this camera switcher and the OBS system and the scoreboard. So bear with her till she gets comfortable with that. AJ Fawson, our chief engineer here, who's the one who said, hey, we got somebody who might want to help. I said, bring her on. Full Count Ministries, full count to Jada Moore with Emmy Bullington in the on-deck area. Levin looking for a strikeout. The pitch, that's lined right back at her. One hop to Harrison. 1 run's going to score, make it. It is only 1 as the tag is on the back. of Chloe Jones, who's not in agreement. And it looked like if she tug her, it looked like it did happen before she touched home, but Velota does come in to score. Put Lanier down at first base on the single. That is 5 straight hits, with the first out recorded at the plate on a great throw by Anna Harrison. Chloe Jones out 8-2 if you're scoring at home. And again, if you are, send me an email at treesports@gmail.com. I'd like to know who the other scorebook nerds are out there listening. Pretty sure Bo's not one of them. He's probably working. Runners now at first and second. Emmy Bullington struck out in her first plate appearance. She was out number 2 in the first. Change up right down the can for a called strike. That was only the 8th time this year that Bullington has struck out. Madison Lanier leads the club in hitting at .377. She's 1 for 2 in this game. Swing and a miss. Broadcasting on Comcast Cable Channel 19. I believe that's a government access channel, as well as on YouTube. You can watch it live, or you can watch it on a record. Wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and maybe I'll do a soothing third inning as we'll try to dial it back and maybe not get too excited. And if you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you need help getting back to sleep, maybe I can do that for you. That's a line drive over the glove of Erica Abbott, and trying to barehand it in left field is Katie Robinson. And it gets by her. Down to second base goes Emmy Bullington. Another hit. I don't know why Robinson was trying to barehand that, but I'm going to have an E7 on my book. Jada Moore ends up over at third base. Madison Lanier comes in to score. 3 runs in the first, 3 runs here in the second. There's another conflab in the circle. A coach has not come out yet. Try to settle Brooklyn Levin down. That'll bring Keaton Wheeler to the plate. She singled in the first, drove in 2 runs. 6 straight hits for Dyersburg State, 10 in the game. Fastball is up and away to Wheeler, the DP. Don't think Fall State was anticipating this happening. The pitch is wide. Corners are in. Willow Carden is well in at first base. She is almost halfway down the line. Backs up just a little bit. And now she creeps. There's a pitch right down the can. Dyersburg State comes in hitting .286 as a team. Wheeler smokes one. That's a left. Diving catch by Katie Robinson. Let's see if Jada Moore left early. They will check there at third base. I didn't see an umpire give a signal. So a sac fly line out. And put a star by that one for Katie Robinson for out number 2. But another run home for Dyersburg State as they now lead 7-2. Shanley Price steps in. She had a single in her first plate appearance. Dyersburg State 9th in the conference in hitting at 286. Strike call on the outside corner. Seven to 2. 3 in the first, 4 in the second. There's a fly ball to deep center field. This could be trouble. Anna Harrison sees that one go off the fence. That's a 2-run home run for Shanley Price. That is Price's second home run of the year. Give her 9 RBIs. And Brooklyn Levin is got to be shell-shocked here. And Alyssa Costley, the pitching coach, will come out and have a conversation with Levin. So the error at this point does not result in unearned runs. All of these runs are earned. Six in the inning. Still only, there are 2 outs. Did get an out on a throw home. Close play. Chloe Jones trying to score on a base hit by Jada Moore. And the meeting is adjourned. The 9th batter to come to the plate, Caitlin Cotton, ready to step in. She grounded out to end the first inning. Again, the last thing you want to do as a batter, you don't like to make 2 outs in 1 inning, and you definitely don't want to make the 3rd out for the 2nd inning in a row. Strike called to Cotton. She's a freshman. Only about 8 sophomores on the club. Tapper foul at the plate. Seven hits in the inning. Madison Morton, who started the inning off, is in the on-deck area. Levin fires, and she's going to hit Cotton in the leg. That will allow Morton to bat for the 2nd time in the inning. Now Dyersburg State has batted around. Fisted, lined to Erica Abbott for out number 3. Ten batters come to the plate. 6 of them touch home plate. 7 hits in the inning, 1 error, 1 runner left on base. 9-2, Dyersburg State leads. We head to the bottom of the 2nd. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reese and Jessica Meyer back on the Vol State Sports Network. The Lady Pioneers have some work to do here in the second inning. Dyersburg State has batted around twice in the game in 2 innings played. Vol State has not batted around once yet. Golly Maldonado, Carly Costley, and Katie Robinson, the 3 Ks, due up here in the second. Maldonado, a freshman, redshirt freshman. She's from Rancho Cucamonga, California, but she lives here in Hendersonville now. Down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Transferred from Ottawa University, exercise science major. Sam and Cindy Maldonado, her parents, brothers Josh and Jeremiah. She's got a grandma in Arizona. I wonder if Jessica's got a grandma in Arizona. You got any grandparents? Let me put that microphone a little bit closer. There we go.
Yes, I do. I do have grandparents out in Arizona.
I wonder if they know each other.
Maybe.
It's not a really big state, is it?
Just a little bit, but I'm sure they have good connections out there.
Full Count Ministries, full count to Maldonado. She's hitting .423, and she will line out to Caitlin Cotton, who makes the catch on her knees for out number 1. Well struck softball there by Maldonado, but she is semi-robbed by Cotton as that ball stayed up in the air. Costley runs up on the fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. Carly, the younger sister of Alyssa Costley, the pitching coach. Also a transferred from Johnson University in Knoxville. She's from Mount Juliet. Father Kevin still lives there. Mom now in Memphis, Tennessee. She fouls that pitch off. Costley hitting .392, playing in her 30th game of the year. It's game number 37 for the Lady Pioneers. 31 hits, including 2 doubles, 8 RBIs. Gets on base at a .442 clip. Slow roller to the right side. They don't have a chance of getting Costley, who runs well. As soon as that ball got past the pitching circle, Madison Morton had no chance to throw out the speedy Costley. Second hit of the game for Vol State. That brings Katie Robinson to the batter's box. She swings in the first pitch, grounds to third. Throw over to the second for 1. On to first is not in time. Chloe Jones with a nice play down there at third to get the lead out. And now 2 outs, and Robinson on first, reaching on the fielder's choice. Anna Harrison steps to the plate. Harrison, a sophomore. Squares around the bunt, pulls the bat back. Last year, a lot of pinch running for Harrison. This year, she's a staple in center field and in that 9 hole. She's the daughter of Todd and Jennifer Harrison, squaring around again. Pitches outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Robinson stays at first base. She's got a couple stolen bases, has not been caught. At this point, down by 7, not probably the time to run. Harrison's from Savannah, Tennessee, Hardin County High School. Paul Dennis and Mamaw Gale in Savannah. Pitch called a strike right at the knees. 3-0 count. Goes to 3-1. Papaw Stacy and Mamaw Ann in Shiloh, Tennessee, and Papaw Jerry and Jan in Savannah as well might be listening in. Ball 4 to Harrison. She draws the 2-out walk. Second walk of the game by Emmy Bullington, who has a 7-run lead here in the second inning. Facing now one of the top hitters in the conference, Michaela Fuqua. Fuqua, a second-team all-conference selection for the Lady Pioneers last year. She led the nation in stolen bases. She's leading the nation again in that category. Dyersburg State had a couple Lady Eagles on the second-team all-conference as well. Pearson Vaughn and Shelley Durbin. Ball State with 4 on the first team and 2 on the second team. 2-0 pitch, misses down low. Michaela Fuqua still hasn't seen a strike. 3 balls, no strikes with Erica Abbott on deck. Finally, she looks at a strike. It whispers at the outside corner. Good information right there from Alex Qualls to let me know. The Dyersburg State third baseman, Chloe Jones, has already signed to continue her academic and athletic career at Union University down in Jackson. A Lady Bulldog, the Union Bulldogs. Congratulations to Chloe. 3-2 pitch. That's fouled off to the left on the Full Count Ministries full count. If you're new to the broadcast and you don't know why, call that a Full Count Ministries full count. Well, first of all, that's the name of the ministry, is Full Count. And secondly, the count is full. Ground ball, that's going to sneak off the glove, and charging with center fielder Jada Moore. It nearly got past her. That's an RBI single for Michaela Fuqua. She's down at first base. Katie Robinson comes in to score, and Anna Harrison moves over to third. A ball that just glances off of shortstop Madison Lanier's glove. 2 hits in the inning. That's a 2-out knock for Fuqua, who's not long for first base, I'm confident. She's taken off there, throw down to third, and Fuqua will stand in at second with her third stolen base of the day. Eric Abbott takes apparently strike 1. Abbott, slow roller to second, bobbled, and that will be an E4 as Madison Morton knew that Abbott runs well. So no RBI to Abbott, but Fall State scores another run. That one's unearned. Fuqua down to third. Runners at the corners brought to you by Line to Line and Game Time Sports Field. They provide the netting and padding around here at the softball complex as well as up at the baseball complex. Stephen Dotson and Bill Marbett. Lydia Kirby stands in. She hit a solo home run in the first. That was her 5th of the year. Picked up her 55th RBI. Abbott stays put on that pitch as it sails outside. An RBI machine. RBIs sometimes are called steaks because before the steaks they were called ribeyes. There's a ground ball hard, backhanded by Lanier, throw on to first, and they retire Lydia Kirby. Nice play by Lanier to stay with that ground ball. Ball State gets a couple back, 2 runs, only one of those earned. On 2 hits, there was 1 error and 2 runners left on base. 9-4 after 2. We're scheduled for 7 innings. So buckle up. Looks like a lot of action here in game 1 of the doubleheader. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reese, Jessica Meyer of the Ball State Sports Network. Move to the top of the third inning, and we have a call to the bullpen for the Nears. They're wearing their red pinstripes today. Charis Nichols out of the bullpen for Brooklyn Levin, who goes 2 innings. Gives up 11 hits, 9 runs, 7 of those are earned. Walked 0. Struck out 1 batter. Did plunk 1 batter. Faced 18. Right now, she's on the hook for the decision. Charis Nichols delivers a changeup for a called strike. Dyersburg at the top of their lineup. Mallory Volota, 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the 6-run second inning. Reaches out, pops that one up into shallow right field. Out goes Fuqua and makes the catch for out number 1. Good start for Charis Nichols. Charis, a former Wildcat from Clarksville High School. Clarksville, of course, is the home of Fort Campbell Army Base. She is a freshman as that ball's lifted out to center field. Anna Harrison patrols out there, and if you leave that ball up in the air very long, Anna's going to track it down, and she does. So I look at my score sheet. Is that the first time that Vol State has put back-to-back outs on the board? And it is. Madison Lanier steps in. Chloe Jones, who just flew out there to center field, had a single in the first and scored the double in the second, drove in a run. She's now 2 for 3 as Madison Lanier steps to the plate. She's 1 for 2, scored twice. Nichols, 1 ball, no strike on the batter. There's a shot to Abbott on 1 hop. She gloves, throws over to Willow Carden. There's a 1-2-3 inning by Charis Nichols. That is exactly what Vol State needed to right the ship. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're headed to the bottom of the third. 9-4, Dyersburg State. Bottom of the third, Shelby Green, Willow Carden, Kylie Maldonado to face Emmy Bullington. Bullington, a sophomore from Owensboro, Kentucky. First pitch misses high to Shelby Green. Ground ball down the first base line. That's fair, and it gets by Shanley Price as Green picks up an opening hit here in the third. She's now 1 for 2. She grounded out to Price at first base in the first inning. Now Carden, who was a strikeout victim to end the first, stands in. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Some of the statistical accomplishments not accurate as that ball's fouled on the bunt. for Dyersburg State. Their wins and losses don't show up on the Presto Sports, so I went back and looked at every game, determined who I thought should get the win or the loss. And I came up with Emmy Bullington having a 4-7 record. Count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shows her with 12 appearances. I did not count how many appearances she had for each of the games. 3.72 ERA. Assuming all that is correct. I know that for Chanley Price, who's not sure that she will pitch in this 2-game series here. A lot of the stats not correct there. And Carden down on strikes, throw down to first, not in time to get Green. And Carden is strikeout victim again. That's the second strikeout for Bullington. Kylie Maldonado, who lined out to the right fielder, steps to the plate with 1 out and 1 on. Fastball apparently a little bit up to Maldonado. Kylie, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 16 RBIs. Gets on base better than 1 out of every 2 plate appearances. Fouls that one off. Mallory Velota in left field, Jada Moore in center, Caitlin Cotton in right, Chloe Jones at third, Madison Lanier at short, Madison Morton at second, Chanley Price at first, and Macy Calhoun behind the dish. Nice stop there. The ball in the dirt. All natural surface here at the Nichols Softball Complex. Dirt infield and grass outfield. 2-1 pitch. Ball State came in third in the TCCAA conference tournament last year. Chattanooga State, the ultimate winner. 3-1 pitch is right down the can. Looks like Bullington may have taken a little bit off that. Maldonado a little bit confused there. We'll get to a full count. Ministries full count. Vol State trails by 5. Tapper foul. Carly Costley in the on-deck circle, hoping to get an at-bat here in the third. Vol State scored their 2 runs in the second with 2 outs. Going to get another base runner here as that pitch is just a hair high. Third walk of the game by Bullington, puts runners at first and second. And Costley comes to the plate. Not known for her power, so probably not looking for a 3-run home run here. She's considered a slap hitter. She'll walk up on the pitcher, as she does there. She squares around the bunt, but pulls the bat back on a ball that moves outside. Squaring around the bunt, pulls both the first and the third baseman in. So with runners on base, it looks like a circus out there. Tapper to second. Nice play there by Morton. She gathered that one in the glove and side flipped to Price for out number 2. Maldonado moves to second. Green down to third. And Katie Robinson stands in. She's got a chance to drive in 2. Reached on a fielder's choice. She had a ground ball to Jones down at third base. Dyersburg State had twin brothers as their head baseball and head softball coach for almost a dozen years, I think it was. Robert White, the baseball coach. George White, the softball coach. Robert White left last year, moved to Florida, George stayed as the softball coach as that 2-1 pitch is right down the middle for a 2-2 count. George slid over, became the head baseball coach. Dusty Rhodes was helping Tyler Brown, the interim head coach last year, and he's still the assistant coach. There's a strike called on the inside corner. I'll have to finish that story later as Robinson goes down looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and the Lady Pioneers cannot push a runner across in the third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. Through 3 innings, 9-4, Dyersburg State leads. You're listening to the Ball State Sports Network. Got a change. Maybe it's only one. Out defensively for Vol State. Kendra McNeil, the new first baseman, in for Willow Carden. Cheris Nichols delivers the first pitch in the top of the 4th. A little bit of a slider, and it is popped out to center field. Jada Moore flies out for out number 1 here in the 4th. Cheris Nichols is retired. All 4 batters she's faced. Costley still at third. Abbott at short. Fuqua at second. And Kendra McNeil, the new first baseman. She's going to get an opportunity to catch a ground ball, but it'll be in foul territory. As Bullington, who's 1 for 2, fouls that one off. McNeil then at first, 5'8", freshman from Nolensville High School in Nolensville, Tennessee. That's suburb of Nashville, general studies major, daughter of Jason and Paula McNeil. That's grounded up the middle. That'll be a base hit. First knock for or off of Cheris Nichols. 1 out. Single for Bullington. Brings Keaton Wheeler to the plate. She is 1 for 1. She's driven in 3 runs. 2-run single in the first and a sacrifice fly on a great catch by Katie Robinson with a runner at third. I believe that was Jada Moore that was at third base. It was tagging. Got some folks sitting out in lawn chairs out in center field. And apparently the 4-wheeler convention out there in left center field, just to the right of the Toyota Gallatin scoreboard. Assuming those are some of the maintenance guys that are on their lunch break. 2-0 pitch is in there for a called strike to Wheeler. She's the DP for Dyersburg State. Hitting .250 on the season. I don't know where that pitch missed. Our home plate umpire did not holler out and did not raise her hand, so it's a ball. That's the international sign that it's not a strike. 3-1 count. And Nichols takes something off of that. Slider gets a swing and a miss. We'll have a full count. Ministries full count. Got my broadcast start with Full Count Ministries. Coming up on 4 years ago now. Full count pitch. Swing and a miss. And there's a Chick-fil-A at Gallatin. Strikeout. Strikeout number 1 for Nichols. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Just joining us, Dyersburg State put 3 on the board in the first. Vol State followed with 2. Lady Eagles put 6 on the board in the top of the second. That was popped up to the right side. Fuqua will make the catch for out number 3. Brooklyn Levin got the start for Vol State. Dyersburg State had her number. Cheris Nichols is now retired. 6 of 7 batters she's faced. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. Vol State needs a big inning in the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back. We're in the bottom of the 4th. So now it would take some runs in the bottom of the 5th for Vol State. But would rather have some starting right here as Anna Harrison, Michaela Fuqua, and Erica Abbott set to face Emmy Bullington in her 4th inning of work. Harrison walked and scored in the 2nd inning. Squares the bunt, lays it down beautifully. Jones charges. Throw gets by the first baseman. Harrison's going to head down to second. Throw. The right fielder, Cotton, is not in time. Give Harrison an infield or give her a bunt single. And charge an error to Chloe Jones on the throw to first. 2nd error of the game for Dyersburg. Vol State with a runner at second base. With nobody out, Michaela Fuqua at the plate. Fuqua 1 for 1. She walked, stole second, stole third, and scored on a ground out by Erica Abbott in the first. Single drove in a run in the second. Tapper, that's another infield single. Fuqua, that's all she's got to do is hit a high chopper to the left side, and there's not a chance a pitcher can come out of that circle and throw her out. She's 2 for 2. It's good to see Michaela Fuqua back in the hit column. Now runners at first and third, brought to you by Line to Line and Game Time Sports Field. Fuqua has 3 stolen bases. Let's see if she's off with this pitch. Squaring around the bunt. She does not go. Christian Lynn flashing signs down at third base. The young head coach here at Volunteer State, his 2nd year. Fuqua off this time is no throw. Picks up her 4th stolen base of the game. Erica Abbott's got to love hitting behind Michaela Fuqua. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to short. That will get a run in as Abbott, or Harrison delayed there at third and then went on the throw. So Abbott with another ground out RBI. Michaela Fuqua has to stay put. One run comes in. Right now, that's an unearned run, I believe. That's one out. Still another runner out there in scoring position. And the RBI leader in the conference stands in. I did not check the Division I national leaders in RBIs. Might try to do that here at some point in time. To see where Kirby sits. 2-0 pitch. Kirby looks at a changeup for a called strike. Lydia 1 for 2. Solo home run in the first, ground out to short to end the second. And line drive, that off the glove of the second baseman, Fuqua. They're not going to stop her as the throw comes in. And now the throw gets off the glove of Chanley Price, and down to second base goes Kirby on another error. She swaps places with Michaela Fuqua. Now, the question is, who do you give that error to? I'm going to have to give that to I'm not the official scorer, so it doesn't matter. Check swing by Shelby Green, foul ball. But I have to fill out a score sheet for me as I broadcast, so I'm going to give that to the first baseman. Looked to me like a throw that she should have handled, Chanley Price. That's 3 hits now in the inning. Shelby Green's 1 for 2. Looking to pick up an RBI here. Down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Led off the third with a base hit right down the first base line between Chanley Price, the first baseman, and the fair line. Green, check swing. They're going to see if they checked. Say she did not go. I would be disagreeing with that call. To me, like Shelby got well clear of the plate there with that swing. 1-2 is low. Bullington pitching around Shelby. Full count Ministries, full count with 1 out. 2 in, 9-6. Lady Pioneers clawing back into this one. Line to left field, that will get down and bobbled out in left field by Mallory Velota. And Lydia Kirby comes in to score. RBI single for Shelby Green, and it's 9-7. Time called as interim head coach Dusty Rhodes comes out of the dugout. Have a chat with pitcher, and it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. So we'll take a break, and we'll tell you all we know about the new pitcher when we return right New pitcher on for Dyersburg State, number 43, Kylie Chapman. She's a freshman. She's going to face Kendra McNeil, so two newbies in the game. McNeil's first at-bat as she came in for Willow Carden in the top of the inning. And the first pitch delivered by Chapman is high and away. Kendra McNeil, 5'8". She's a freshman from Nolensville. Got grandparents in Valmeyer, Illinois, and looks at ball 2 outside. Grandpa and Grandma in Valmeyer, Illinois, and Grandma in Anna, Illinois. Also has a brother, Trent, daughter of Jason and Paula McNeil. They might be listening in the Vol State Sports Network. If you are, give me a heads up as that ball gets off the glove of Macy Calhoun and down to second base. Goes Green on the pass ball. And a 3-ball, no strike count to the new first baseman for Vol State, Kendra McNeil. About to toss her bat till the home plate umpire says, "Oh," then raises her right hand. Thanks to the maintenance staff here and A.J. Fossum, we've got a nice, cool little repository for our crowd mic now. There's ball 4. McNeil draws the walk. First batter that Kylie Chapman faces. Draws the free pass. Emmy Bullington goes 3 1/3 innings, gives up 8 hits, 7 runs to this point, but Green out at second base is her responsibility. Walked 3, struck out 3, faced 22 batters. Kylie Maldonado for 1 stands in. 1 out and 2 on. That ball is in there for a called strike. Looks like Chapman can step on it a little bit faster than maybe Bullington did. Chapman a 6-2 record according to my research. 3.25 ERA, and she's ahead in the count to Maldonado. Kind of believe that Chapman might have been the starting pitcher in game 2. 32 1/3 innings of work. She's second on the club, and she might have actually more than that. Not sure if all of her stats got in. I know that at least one pitcher or two, the stats did not show up on the box score anyway, so whether or not they got into the totals, I didn't check that. 0-2 to Maldonado, fouled at the plate, and it is. Wait a minute. You can't be saying that's fair. Okay. She said that ball's fair. There's no chance where that ball was drilling into the dirt. That line right there that comes right to the plate, that would have been to the right of the line. But they called her out, so 2 unassisted for Maldonado, and Christian Lynn's not arguing. I don't know if he just didn't see it. That's happening. I'm going to have to look at that on a replay as well. It's happening right in front of the press box here. Carly Costley, 1 for 2, stands in. Chokes one and pokes it out to left field. 1 run scores. Here comes the throw. And McNeil tugged out. That is out number 3. So an RBI single for Costley. Drives home 1 run with the throw by Mallory Velota. Now what are they doing? I mean, that's the 3rd out of the inning on the tag at home. So what Costley's doing coming in, I don't know. So conversation between Dusty Rhodes now and you had 2 outs up on okay. We'll put it. We'll see. Yeah, that's what. I mean, I'm seeing the tag. Oh, I think what's happening here is the umpire, home plate umpire, is calling maybe interference by the catcher. I don't know how that could be. The throw takes her into the baseline, takes the catcher into the baseline. She does call timeout, so I think that Costly, if the inning is continuing, will have to go back out on the bases. She did call time. We'll see if they do, in fact, send her back. But I'm looking at the replay here, and she definitely raised her hands up to say timeout. And Costly just keeps running from second base. Dusty Rhodes still having a conversation with the first base or base umpire, who's now escorting him back to the dugout. But I'm like, we'll wait and see what happens as to if they're gonna put the runner back at second base. So I'm assuming, yeah, they will. They'll put Carly Costly back at second base. Shelby Green and Kendra McNeil then are going to score. Due to interference, McNeil will be ruled to have scored. So I guess 2 RBIs for Costly. And we're all tied up 9-9. That's clear as mud. 2 outs. And Katie Robinson at the plate. She's the 9th batter to come to the plate. I don't know what else Macy Calhoun could have done. The throw took her to the baseline. There's a ground ball up the middle. More charges. The throw to the plate will keep Costly at third. Katie Robinson now 1 for 3, and Vol State has batted around. And they have runners at the corners, brought to you by Line to Line and Game Time Sports Field. Pioneers have come all the way back and are a hit away from taking their first lead. Anna Harrison led off the inning with a bunt single, stands in. A lot going on here. First pitch to Harrison, misses outside. Harrison, base hit into left field, and Vol State has taken the lead. RBI single for Harrison. 10-9. Costly comes in to score. Robinson moves down to second. Back to the top of the lineup, Michaela Fuqua. Seven hits in the inning for Vol State. To match the 7 in the second inning for Dyersburg State. But a 6-run inning for Vol State. Fuqua has been on base all 3 times she's come to the plate. She's 2 for 2 with a walk. Fly ball out to left field. Velota will come in and make the catch to retire Fuqua and retire the Lady Pioneers. They send 11 to the plate, score 6 runs. I believe all of them are earned. There's a chance that they're not. Not sure, but that ruling happened at home. I think it was an interference call, but I don't know how that affects earned runs. So good that I'm not the official scorer, but I don't know that anybody in that dugout knows any more than I do about it. So all I know is there's 6 runs on the board in the bottom of the 4th, and Vol State leads 10-9. We'll be right back. A lot of hitting in this game. 10-9 is the score. Vol State has taken their first lead. We are through 4 innings. What will the next 3 look like? 8, 9, and 1 to face Cheris Nichols, Caitlin Cotton, Madison Morton, and Mallory Velota. 3 for Dyersburg State. Thanks for joining us on the Vol State Sports Network and Comcast Cable Access Channel 19. Swing and a miss on a slider. I don't know if Cheris calls it a slider, but the spin on it is going away from the right-handed hitter. They're fastballs they call rise balls. I just call it a fastball. That pitch is out of the zone, so we'll just call it a ball. 2 balls and a strike. I want to thank thank Toyota of Gallatin for their support of Vol State athletics. Beautiful scoreboard out there in left center field. This is year number 2 for the new scoreboard. Fouled off the screen. Thanks to Eric Carr, their general manager, and Jake Thompson. He's their famous Facebook actor. He is the general sales manager. If you watch some baseball games, you'll see a commercial with head men's basketball coach Johnny Lynn and head baseball coach Jim McGuire. That ball is lifted high into the air on the right side. Michaela Fuqua has no problem with that. She's made the last 2 outs on pop-outs. Cheris Nichols has come in and settled things down in the circle for Vol State. Brooklyn Levin, clearly the number 1 pitcher for Vol State all year long, but at least in the first 2 innings against Dyersburg State, she was not missing barrels there. Another pop-up. This should be playable. Kendra McNeil is going to get bumped there by Madison Morton, but she ends up making the catch anyway. I didn't see the umpire put her arm out for an interference there. She was clearly bumped, but makes the catch, so it is a moot point. Sometimes I say it's a mute point, but that's wrong. First 2 retired. Mallory Velota, the leadoff batter, who's 1 for 3, stands in. Dyersburg State wearing their light blue. 1 hopper right to Erica Abbott, and she throws a strike to Kendra McNeil at first, and that is a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Lady Pioneers, as Cheris Nichols now 3 innings through has only allowed 1 single, facing 10 batters. We'll be right back, see if Vol State can add some more to this lead. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Vol State here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Against relief pitcher Kylie Chapman. Out for her first full inning of work. Erica Abbott looking for her first hit of the game. She has 2 RBIs on ground outs. She has been on base on an error. Maybe I'm not good luck for Erica Abbott. She clobbers the ball most of the time, but I was here the other day against Motlow, and she ended her, she was on a 14-game hitting streak. Have to check that. But that hitting streak ended in game 1. She didn't even know about it. 2 balls, no strikes to Abbott. It was a 14-game hitting streak. Now 3 balls and no strikes. Sophomore having a fantastic year. .418 hitter. Tied for second in the conference in hits coming into today's action. She's 51 of those. That's ball 4. Second walk of the game by Chapman. Walked the first batter that she faced. It was Kendra McNeil, who had an interesting trip around the bases in the 4th inning. Ended up being tugged out at home plate, but a ruling by the home plate umpire says that she was interfered with. Lydia Kirby, 2 for 3 in the game. Solo home run and an RBI single to left center field in the 4th. Runner goes. There's a line drive. That's going to be a double play. Erica Abbott's going to be out at first on the line out. The hit and run will retire Abbott at first as Madison Morton throws on for out number 2. Shelby Green fouls that one. She starts to run a little bit late, but that hit her in the batter's box, so that's a foul ball. We've had that play already today as well. The other side where a foul ball disagreement as to whether or not Chloe Jones was in the batter's box when that happened. 0-1 pitch. This is low and inside. Getting a text from another Fall State baseball alum who's now over at Lipscomb University, Caleb Pika. Pitches on the outside corner for a called strike. The most fierce battle in all the land happening today. Some of you think it's Duke and North Carolina or Ohio State and Michigan. It's Belmont and Lipscomb, folks. Belmont and Lipscomb, the Battle of the Boulevard, Part 2 in baseball is the Bison of Lipscomb traveling. Used to be just 2 miles up the road when it was on campus, the baseball field at Belmont. That's my alma mater where I played back in the day. So some knockdown, drag-out games. Lipscomb normally came out on top as the count goes full. Today they play at Rose Park in downtown Nashville. Beautiful facility and beautiful skyline that you see at the baseball field. But Landon Godsey and Kayla Pika were teammates here. The full count pitch is drilled into right field. Shelby Green picks up her 3rd hit of the game. And a 1-out base hit puts a runner at first. And Kendra McNeil will come to the plate. So Landon Godsey, who was a catcher and a first baseman at Vol State, he was all-conference, I think second team all-conference, hit about .370 his sophomore year. Ended up signing and going to Belmont, where They made him back into a catcher. Runner's going to take off. And she is in there as ball got out of Macy Calhoun's glove. I'm not sure if Green read that or it was a delayed steal all the way, but she picks up a stolen base. Now in scoring position for McNeil with 2 outs. But Landon Gotze was just told by Kayla Pica he's going to play shortstop today. He's been playing third. The senior out of Indianapolis, Indiana. He's been catching a little bit. The president, Wendy Tossenson, out in her mobile. Looks like she's being driven around today. I wonder who's driving Dr. T. Dr. T, you're going to have to let me know who your driver is. Maybe it's Bobby Hudson. I didn't even know she was here. Just got on campus July of this year, and she is all in on sports. She loves her Pioneers and Lady Pioneers. 2-1 pitch, drilled to the left field. That's down for a base hit. Christian Lynn sending the runner. The throw, no slide by Green, and the ball comes out of the glove by Calhoun. And that's going to be an RBI single for McNeil. She moves to second on the throw home. And Vol State has a 2-run lead, 11-9. Not sure why Shelby did not slide, but don't think that Maldonado, I don't think she was up there for Shelby to see that the throw was coming to her. Normally you see the on-deck batter going up and raising the hands up to say stay up or throwing them down to the dirt to say get down, but Maldonado stayed over by the on-deck circle. Now she might have been yelling. Kylie's at the plate with a runner at second. She's 0 for 2, also drawn a walk. Ground ball under the glove of the shortstop Lanier, and that's going to be another run as Maldonado picks up a hit and an RBI. McNeil scores. Ball State now up by 3. That just snuck under the glove of Madison Lanier, the shortstop. That's back-to-back-to-back hits brought to you by Hit After Hit. Lem Pilkington, a Rawlings distributor, sporting goods store down in Nashville, Tennessee. He's a supporter of Vol State baseball and softball. Carly Costley is 2 for 3, stands in. Nearly hits her. Ball goes to the backstop. And Maldonado's going to move down to second base on the wild pitch. And another Lady Pioneer in scoring position. "21 runs so far in 4+ innings of play. All this happening with 2 outs. Costley looks at a called strike. Actually, she probably didn't look at it. She was well past the plate by the time that ball came across the dish. One time, Dyersburg State had a 9-2 lead after 1.5 innings. Tapper to the third baseman. Jones gloves and throws on to first to retire Costley. Fall State puts 2 more on the board on the Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard on 3 hits. No errors, 1 runner left on base. We are through 5. We're scheduled for 7. Vol State leads 12-9. Cheris Nichols out in the circle. She's out for her 4th inning of work. She came out after Brooklyn Levin went the first 2 innings. Just was not her day, at least in game 1. See if maybe she gets back out in the circle for game 2. Not sure how many pitches she threw, but these young ladies, I don't think they're worrying so much about pitch count. They'll throw 150 pitches. Chloe Jones, Madison Lanier, Jada Moore to face the freshman from Clarksville High School. A couple of foul balls off the end of the bat of the soon-to-be Union Bulldog, Lady Bulldog. She apparently likes West Tennessee. She's from right here in Nashville. Lipscomb Academy Mustang. I guess they called them Lady Mustangs. 0-2 pitches, high and away. Her brother, Alex Qualls, former Vol State right-handed pitcher, listening in today on our YouTube channel. Popped up on the left side. Erica Abbott looks up into the sky, and she's going to make the catch for out number 1. Chloe Jones singled and doubled in her first 2 plate appearances, but Cheris Nichols has retired her both times that they have faced. Now Madison Lanier steps to the plate. She's 1 for 3, has scored twice. Nichols is 2nd in the conference in appearances. This is her 20th, and it's her 11th in relief, if that is right. Ground ball to Abbott. Couple hops, glove, throw, and the second out retired. Shows Nichols with 9 starts and 11 relief appearances. She's a 4.16 ERA. That is 8th in the conference among qualifying pitchers. 65 2/3 innings of work. Prior to this game, gave up 79 hits, 54 runs. 39 of those were earned. Walked 24, struck out 25. And has plunked 2 batters. Jada Moore, 2 for 3. Swing and a foul tip into the mitt. Being held on the left hand by Lydia Kirby. Katie Robinson still in left. Anna Harrison in center. Shelby Green in right. Costley Abbott on the left side. And Fuquay McNeil on the right side. Kendra McNeil, our Jersey Mike's first sub of the game, as that ball is popped up out to right field. Green cannot haul that one in, and Moore is going to cruise all the way around to third base. Shelby is playing in the worst outfield position in this location. She is looking right at the sun. So give Jada Moore a triple. She's got a single, double, and a triple in the game. And Emmy Bullington's spot was coming up. I think they're going to re-enter Bullington and not allow Chapman to bat, and that's in fact what will happen. So we'll have a new pitcher coming out because now that scratches Chapman. Left-handed hitting Emmy Bullington is 2 for 3 in the game. Looks at a called strike. That's only the 2nd hit off of Nichols. She pitches in her 4th inning of work. Ground ball to Costley at third. She gets it in the glove, throws it in the dirt to McNeil, but she digs it out of there. That is out number 3. They strand Jada Moore at third. No runs, one hit, no errors. One runner left on base. Nice play by Kendra McNeil there in the top of the sixth. That is 4 straight zeros on the Toyota Gallatin scoreboard since Charis Nichols has come in. We head to the bottom of the sixth, 12-9. Vol State leads. New pitcher is, can't be. Emmy Bullington is wearing number 6. Oh, she came back out to pitch. Okay, that's what's going on. Okay, he wrote 20 on the scorecard. That ball's lined down the right field line by Katie Robinson. So confusion here on my score sheet. Emmy Bullington wearing the number 6. I wrote 20 down on my scorecard because that's what was on Dusty Rhodes' scorecard, but she actually has been wearing number 6 the whole time. So she has re-entered the game in the circle. As slow roller to second, Katie will be retired at first base on another side flip by Madison Morton. So I've got, good thing I've got white out. Anna Harrison takes a called strike. Sometimes the uniform determines what number they're wearing. I know Vol State I think they're all whites. As that ball's grounded to second, Morton's going to get another chance, and she's going to be true on that ground out. So a couple of ground outs to Madison Morton at second. And back to the top of the lineup, Michaela Fuqua. So Emmy Bullington returns to the game after hitting in the top of the sixth. Fuqua looks at a called strike. Kayla finally was retired in her last at-bat. In the bottom of the fourth, she flew out to left field. She's 2 for 3. Scored twice, driven in a run, and picked up 4 more stolen bases. That puts her at 47 on the season. Just taps that one and picks up another base hit into center field. A 2-out knock for Fuqua, sophomore from Austin High School in Decatur, Alabama. You don't have to hit it hard. You just got to place it. It's almost like Michaela just serves that ball. And now Erica Abbott still looking for her first hit of the game. Fuqua bluffs. Stays at first base. I would expect that she's going to take off, though. And there she is on the fake bunt. Throw down to second is not in time. Picks up her 5th stolen base. Runner now in scoring position at second. Abbott can pick up a base hit. Michaela played right field last year in her freshman year. I think she batted second mostly in the lineup, squaring around a bunt, and Abbott's going to draw another walk. That will be the fourth walk of the game for Bullington. Ground ball to third off the glove of Chloe Jones. That's going to score another run. Lydia Kirby hits one hard, but no RBI on my score sheet. That'll be an E5 that allows Fuquay to come in and score. So an unearned run for Vol State. As Lydia Kirby will be lifted temporarily for a pinch runner. Caitlin Dillard. Pinch run. Shelby Green's 3 straight hits in her last 3 plate appearances steps to the plate. Dillard down at first base, freshman from Greenbrier. That's in Tennessee, Robertson County. She went to Greenbrier High School, former Lady Bobcat, biology major. She is the daughter of Scott and Carrie and brother to Bentley. Pitch just a little bit up, elevated. Here's a pitch right down the can for a called strike. Shelby with 5 home runs on the season, 35 RBIs, hitting .330. Drives one into right center field. That's going to score at least one. Nice stop by Moore, but she falls down, and they're going to go ahead and send Dillard. Give 2 RBIs to Shelby Green on the base hit. It scores Dillard all the way from first base. Can't give an error to Moore out in center field for slipping. Ball State now with a 6-run lead after trailing by 7 going into the bottom of the second. Ground ball to second. Morton will throw on to first base. She will get all 3 assists in the inning. But the Lady Pioneers put 3 more on the board and lead 15-9. So our umpire was just letting us know that Lydia Kirby, I think, will re-enter the game. So we'll just keep it right here. Go ahead and turn your mic up there, Jessica. We can talk just a little bit. So
yes, we can.
You're 6 innings into your first game.
Yes.
Jessica's been with me the whole game. My director. She's been handling the camera switching and our scoreboard for the very first time.
I have all the power now.
Yes, you do. Except I do have the soundboard and the audio mixer in front of me, so I can. That to me, I want to have that power.
That's true. So
I don't want somebody to turn me up, and I'm not ready to talk to the people.
You can mute me whenever you need to.
Well, that's just like that finger on the trigger we were talking about, right? We can mute ourselves, just shut our pie hole, right? And but you're right, I can turn your volume down. But so I don't know. At the risk of asking a question I don't know the answer to, which is not good in like a court of law, but I'm a former accountant, not a lawyer. But so how did were you involved in the broadcasting part the whole time you were at Vol State?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
When
you did 2 years of Vol State, right?
I actually dual enrolled here at Ball State, so I was lucky enough to do 3 or 4 years in the broadcasting department.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. We move to the top of the 7th. Vol State needs 3 outs before Dyersburg State scores 6 runs. Cheris Nichols looking for the victory. Will face 6, 7, and 8 in the Dyersburg State lineup. Gets the first pitch in there for a called strike. Cheris looking for her 9th win of the year. Comes in with an 8-2 record. Third in the conference with those 8 wins. Brooklyn Levin first in the conference with her 11 wins. Olivia Laney, the current pitcher of the week from Chattanooga State. She's 10-0. Levin 11-4. Cheris Nichols 8-2. The top 3 in the conference. 2-1 pitch, catches that outside corner. No, says miss umpire. To Keaton Wheeler, the DP. She's 1 for 2. 3 RBIs in the game. Ball State just would not stop. Called strike above a full count. Ministries full count. Stay tuned. We'll have game 2, approximately 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 after this game concludes. Drilled foul. Will stay in the field of play as Lydia Kirby has re-entered the game. Caitlin Dillard pinch ran for her, so she gets the run scored officially, not Lydia Kirby. Lydia Kirby's not concerned about how many runs she scores. She wants to drive runs in. And there's ball 4 as Nichols walks her first batter of the game. She came in the 3rd inning. And settled things down as we'll have a pinch runner at first base. Now I'm gun shy about whether or not 21 actually means 21. I'm going to go for it. Allie Shires is the pinch runner for Keaton Wheeler. Chanley Price steps to the plate. First pitch is down low in the dirt. Price hit a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. That was the last run scored by Dyersburg State. Put them up 9-2. Shires down at first base as a freshman. Right on a tee. Take it for a called strike. A lot of coaches, when you're down by 6 in the last inning, say, take till you get a strike. I would adhere to that coaching method. Need a lot of runs. You definitely don't need to be swinging at pitches outside the zone. If the umpire will call balls and the pitcher will throw them out of the strike zone, let them walk you around. Price 2 for 3 in the game. Singled in the first and the 2-run home run, her 2nd long ball of the year. And that pitch is up. 3 balls and a strike. Nichols trying to make him hit it. Struggling to get the ball over the plate in the zone. Wind is still pretty stiff out there. Center field moving from center field to right field. And ball 4, back-to-back walks to lead off the 7th, and that will draw a visit from Alyssa Costley, former pitcher here at Vol State. This is a meeting just between a pitcher and a catcher. Infielders are not invited. So by invitation only. And don't see this a lot, but most of the time there's 5 encouragers plus the coach. Now a couple of them, the left side of the infield will come in and get the secret handshakes involved. A couple of experienced players there in the infield. Caitlin Cotton, 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch. Stands in. And the first pitch misses up. These two teams will face each other in Dyersburg on Friday. Slider in there for a called strike. And then Vol State right now is scheduled, the Lady Pioneers scheduled to take on Sneed State on Sunday. If Jessica's available and the weather cooperates, I'll be here. Slider fouled off to the right side. Sunday, I believe that is a 1 o'clock start time. Check my calendar. It is. But there's some bad weather that is forecasted for Sunday, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Sneed State out of Alabama. I couldn't tell you exactly where in Alabama. Bo Fuquay probably knows, but it's probably a good way away from Decatur. 2-2 pitch is high, and we'll have another Full Count Ministries full count. Cheris Nichols struggling as she's walked the first 2. I see over the third base dugout that Brooklyn Levin is getting loose in the bullpen. Madison Morton in the on-deck circle. Popped up on the right side, should be playable for Kendra McNeil over by the dugout, and she makes a catch in foul territory for out number 1. Second time that Cotton has popped out to the right side of the infield. Popped out to Michaela Fuquay, the second baseman, to lead off the 5th inning. Now the 18th batter that Cheris Nichols has faced, Madison Morton, who's 1 for 3. She singled and scored in the 6-run second inning. Dyersburg 3 in the first, 6 in the second, have not scored since. Double play will end the game as that pitch is right down Broadway for called strike. On deck, the leadoff batter, Mallory Velota. We check before we sign off to see if there's anybody who's emailed in. Bo Fuquay was the first. So that pitch is fouled straight back. Holly has emailed in. I won't tell you what she said, but it's not anything negative about the broadcast at all, so I appreciate that. But I don't know. I assume Holly's rooting for the Pioneers. Another foul ball. That one gets over the netting, the backstop. But maybe not. Probably not now as I look at this. Now I'm thinking about the right play that she's talking about. 1-2 pitch, popped up. That'll get out of play and hit off of the Vol State dugout. We've had a few plays here at home plate that I have been perplexed about. One was a swinging bunt that actually has been 3. Swinging bunt that the ball just got down in the dirt. I thought it was a foul ball. They called it a fair ball. There's another pop-up to the left side. Costley gets over, and she'll see that one bounce off the dugout. Another swinging bunt or a bunt by Dyersburg State that came up and hit the batter. I thought she was possibly out. She had already taken a couple steps, but the batter box here for softball, I don't know if it's always like this, but they are farther out in front of the plate than a baseball batter's box. Another pop-up. This could be playable in left field. Robinson is over in left field and makes the catch for out number 2. And Dyersburg State now down to their last out as Madison Morton pops up in foul territory. Loda with 2 out, 2 on here in the top of the 7th inning. Vol State trying to get their 12th win in conference play. Dyersburg State comes in at 5th place at 8-6. And Cheris Nichols delivers a strike right down the middle. Vol State in 2nd place, Roane State in 3rd. Walters at 8-4 in 4th place, just ahead of Dyersburg State. Columbia State taking on Southwest Tennessee in doubleheader action down in Memphis today. Drilled to Abbott. She's going to glove and throw to first base. And this one belongs to the Lady Pioneers. A comeback victory for the Vol State as Mallory Velota is retired on the ground out. I'm going to show something to Jessica Meyer, our director here. If you'll come down there and hit that little final button, that lets people know the game is over. The final score is 15-9. As Cheris Nichols picks up her 9th victory of the year. She moves to 9-2. And Emmy Bullington, according to my research, will fall to 4-8. No save. As Vol State, as they clear the scoreboard quickly up there. Vol State down 9-2, scored 4 runs in the 2nd, and then put a 6 spot on the board in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. They came from behind down 7 to win by 6. They moved to 29-8 overall and 12-3 in conference play. Dyersburg State falls to 10-13 overall and 8-7 in conference play. And now we get to pick the Toyota of Gallatin player of the game. All that hitting, and I'm going to pick Cheris Nichols, the pitcher. Cheris Nichols came in and she threw 5 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball, softball. 2 hits, no runs. She did walk 2. Those were in the last inning. Struck out 1 batter and faced 19 batters in the game, and she retired all but 4 of those. Cheris Nichols is your Toyota of Gallatin player of the game. Congratulations. She can go down there and pick any Camry she wants, as long as it's, from the Hot Wheels set that they have inside there. No, I'm just kidding. So if you need some service, go see my friend Emily Smith at Toyota Gallatin. It's just right up the road from the Nichols Softball Complex. Emily Smith, a longtime friend of the family. She's actually the daughter of Tony and Kim Smith, friends of the family, and she's as sweet as pie. She will help you. Just tell her Tim Reese sent you. She will give you a double dose of that sweetness. We do thank Toyota Gallatin for their sponsorship of the player of the game and our starting lineups. That'll do it for game one. Jessica, you survived. So any shout out right here at the end of the game to mom, dad, brothers? Go ahead and give your shout out.
Shout out to my parents, and I am so grateful to be here. This was a great game, and I'm excited for our next one.
All right, well, give your parents the names.
Shout out to my dad, Eric Meyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. That's cool. All right, well, we'll be back here in just a little bit for game number 2 between these two teams, as Ball State will try to get the sweep of the first 2. So for Dr. Wendy Tostenson and for Athletic Director Bobby Hudson and head coach Christian Lynn and for Jessica Meyer, this is Tim Reese saying God bless you. Thank you for watching and listening on the Ball State Sports Network.